So here we are today at Burrow Canyon. This is Nicholas, back from Afghanistan, and we're going to go through some old Irish Army rifles. We have Enfields and Falls and a Steyr AUG. So first thing we're going to do is come down and look at this old Irish Army issue, #1 Mark III Steyr. This is a post First World War. It doesn't have the magazine cut off volley sights or anything like that, but this was the first Free State rifle that the Irish Army ever used. So takes 303 British, and I think we're going to take a shot at it. We go for the 100-yard sight. 3 rounds. It can take 10. I just don't feel like loading up 10 right now. So, feet. Okay, so we'll go with the 100 yards. See if we can kill some British. This has got a tangent blade and knife sight at the back. A lot of people don't like to shoot with these. It's very old school. But I don't think feeds really nicely. A bit of a crosswind here. Last round. Now, how did we do? That's pointed at fucking nothing right now. Well, we got 3 shots in the black. I seem to be off a bit windage wise by about 2 or 3 inches. Elevation's as good as we could expect. So anyway, that was our first rifle. 3 shots in the black, does the job. As I said, it's a tangent sight and it can be tough to use them, get a good sight picture. The next one was the #4 Mark II. This is a nice unissued one. As you can see, it doesn't have the sight here. It's got a rear receiver mounted sight, which is a peephole, so I'm a bit more accurate with this one. Let's see what we can do with this. 3 more rounds at 100 yards. This one's a bit newer, so the bolt isn't really all that well broken in. It doesn't seem to feed as nicely. Alright, so I line up the front blade at dead centre of the rear piece here that I'm looking for. And that should be where the bullet goes. See how we did there. Oh yes, 3 shots just about in the red. So that's dead, Tommy. And I think we'll transfer over to Nick here. After we had these 2 bolt actions, I think this was what we sent to the Congo. We decided that we needed to have a self-loading rifle, so we came up with the FN FAL. Belgian design. Some people call it the right hand of the free world. We'll transfer the old camera here. So you can see here, this is one that that Nicholas has made up from a Rhodesian kit, is it?
South African.
South African kit. It's got a grenade launching sight right here. Of course it doesn't have the grenade launching attachment at the end, because we can't have them in California. It's very similar to an SKS. Yeah, it's a tilting bolt. It locks against the shoulder back here. It's got a short stroke piston to unlock the bolt and cycle the actual round out. So anyway,
operating features, nice easy to clean, break open attachment at the rear, and you can just pull out, as you mentioned, the tilting bolt. Most Irish service rifles looked very similar to this one in that they had a
Now you were actually in the Irish equivalent to the Territorial Army or National Guard, the FCA.
Right, at the time it was the FCA, and this was a service rifle in the late 90s.
And
of course we don't live in a free state, So the 10 round magazine in real life would be a 20 round magazine. To use the energocite, you would actually rotate it around, mount it in position, and you would then work off your elevation off of the front.
Now for you to turn it around, I assume that you're disengaging the gas plug so that it becomes single shot action.
Correct. There is a happy switch, as we like to call it. Safe R is repetition, and because again this isn't a free state, I'm not authorized to, I'm not actually physically able to send it all the way over to automatic. Very rarely used. The kick on this would be such that fully automatic fire would be somewhat unwieldy, is probably the best term. Nice thing about this is you have a fully adjustable gas regulator, so that no matter what kind of ammunition you have, it will always shoot. So if you'll give me 1 moment, we'll load up a few rounds. Okay, so what we have now is a 7.62 by 51 NATO, which is a little bit less powerful than the .303. However, it's still got enough kick to it, and with a 20 round self-loading rifle, you suddenly have a vast increase in firepower. And that is the FAL.
Nice.
That was then replaced in PDF service, Permanent Defense Forces, in about 1987, give or take 86 or 88. And the replacement would have looked suspiciously like this. Now this is not actually an AUG, this is a clone, it's called an AXR, but to all intents and purposes, this is the current standard issue 5.56mm NATO rifle. We now have a 30 round magazine. It is a translucent magazine in military service, so you can see how many rounds you have left. A neat feature about it is the quick detach barrel. So it makes it nice and compact, and also all you have to do is this, and you can change the barrel out.
Let's have a look at the locking lugs at the bottom of this. So these here will, let me see, you can see how they're like a castle top. They'll twist it through 15 or 20 degrees and they'll lock in place.
And you can change that from the standard issue length rifle through to carbine length and so on down the line. Again, Irish service rifles come with a fixed by 1.5 optic. This version has, I've mounted an EOTech and a magnifier on the bottom. And again, we've now moved to the slightly smaller 5.56mm NATO round. The advantage is you can carry more of them. Now you have 30 round magazines, it's also less recoil, soldiers tend to be more accurate. Two ways of firing it, one is with the forward hand grip. Another alternative that a lot of people will do is they will cradle their supporting hand under the side. So again, just a quick rack the bolt forward. And that was just 1/3 of what one single magazine can handle.
What would you prefer to have, an M4 as your current issue is, or a Steyr over in the stand?
I'm not going to answer that on publicly.
Okay, fair enough.
And the last firearm we have of Irish heritage, shall we say, is the Browning High Power, which was the standard service sidearm until very recently when it was replaced by the Heckler & Koch USP. High Power Mark II, this isn't actually Mark II of course, but very, very similar idea. It's 9mm NATO, standard round from the early 1900s. Single action only, and it also comes with a magazine disconnect. So unless the magazine is in, the hammer will not fall. Semi-automatic carries 15 rounds in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. Simple. And interestingly for a European army, the Irish magazine release was in the American position, not at the base. There's your 9mm.
Nice.
Also known in Irish service as the BAP, the Browning automatic pistol. It's kind of a quaint little tradition in the Irish military that you name rifles after the manufacturer, not the model number. Hence the Browning, the FN, the Panhard, the Moag, and so on.